Good morning. This is Dr. Cadet, infectious disease specialist with the Cadet Solution for the Body and Soul. Today, we are going to talk about malaria. As stated last time, I was planning on bringing the topic of one of the topics of travel medicine. And today we're going to talk about malaria. First, I would like to share with you the Cadet Solution for the Body and Soul mission statement, which is to promote and protect spiritual, mental, and physical health by providing quality care services to everyone through compassion and education. And let's talk a little bit about travel medicine. Travel medicine is the science that focuses on on individual traveling to developing countries with prevention and treatment of infectious disease such as malaria, travelers diarrhea, and general vaccination as the primary goal. For any travel advice, please contact Cadet Solution for the Body and Soul because we are here to help you. You can contact me via the website of drcadetsolution.com or call at 407-373-5891. Things that you must do before your next international trip, because I know that a lot of you are traveling this summer, including myself. I just traveled to the Dominican Republic, and there's a lot to know. Number one, you need to make sure your passport and visa are up to date. Number two, check for health advisory and travel warnings. And number three, for areas of potential infectious disease, such as the Latin, Caribbean, Asian, and African countries, be sure to consult with me for prophylactic medications and vaccination against malaria, typhoid fever, foodborne illnesses, etc. So you need medications or vaccines. And you need to register your trip with the State Department if possible. Try to carry some cash, but be very careful and learn about the money exchange equivalent as well. But don't forget to get some travel insurance to cover yourself if possible. You also need to pack appropriately with some light, long sleeve shirt to protect yourself against mosquitoes. Malaria, what is malaria? Malaria is a mosquito-borne disease that infects the red blood cell of humans, and it is caused by 5 Plasmodium parasites: Plasmodium falciparum, vivax, ovale, malariae, and knowlesi. You don't see that in the slide, but knowlesi is a very important type of malaria that can actually cause problems and is found in the Asian countries, not in Africa. Severe cases of malaria can actually cause deadly complications such as organ failure, hemoglobinuria, which means hemoglobin in the urine, acute respiratory distress syndrome, hyperparasitemia, which means that loss of parasites in the blood, especially for falciparum and knowlesi. If you want to see what they look like, check out Vivax. You see the different form, malaria, the different form of malaria, and ovale, different forms of the ovale, and falciparum. Infection rate. Now, in the US, you don't really have malaria indigenously, locally, but there's been more than 1,700 cases diagnosed in the US each year, primarily in return travelers and immigrant population, where they actually import malaria. And there's been more than 212 million cases globally, 429,000 deaths in 2015. And malaria is found, like I said, in the Latin Caribbean countries, Africa, and Asia. A little bit about how it's transmitted. Well, malaria is spread by bite of the female Anopheles mosquito. Why? Because the female needs to feed on blood in order to lay eggs. The species of mosquito is located worldwide, including the United States. In other words, you have the mosquito in the US, but you need the germ, you need the bug, the protozoan, in order to infect people. The mosquito becomes infected with the Plasmodium parasite by feeding on blood of infected human. The mosquito ingests the gametocyte form, which is the sexually reproducing cell of the parasite, which will take between 10 to 18 days to grow inside the mosquito, which means that if you go to, let's say, Dominican Republic or Jamaica or Haiti, you come back 2 weeks later, 2 to 3 weeks later, and then while you're telling your story, your wonderful experience, you end up experiencing headache, fever, think of malaria. That's why you need to see me, right? A little bit about life cycle of the mosquito and how it infects human. If you look at number 1 here, the mosquito take a blood meal, and then you go to number 2, it goes into the liver cells, and from there it converts into schisms. From schisms, it ruptures in the liver. From there, it gets into the blood, and then from the blood, it converts into different stages. And then from here, you can have another mosquito bite, and then it goes into the mosquito. The protozoan go into the mosquito and convert, have its life cycle inside the mosquito, and the mosquito bite humans again. So it's a full cycle of event that can actually lead to the malaria. But we don't have time to drill down. You can look at this picture yourself and see how a malaria is transmitted. Temperature in malaria, between the temperature of 17 to 33 degrees Celsius, the adult Anopheles mosquito can actually survive up to 35 days. Between the temperature of 16 to 35 degrees Celsius, it allows for more juvenile mosquito to develop into adulthood. 30 degrees Celsius is the optimal temperature for the Plasmodium parasite, okay? Now, with this chart here, you can see the malaria distribution worldwide. If you look at A, that's malaria distribution prior to 1952. As you can see North America, South America, and you can see Africa, and then European countries and Asian countries. They were all affected with malaria. But now the current malaria distribution, though, and B, you see predominantly in South America and the Caribbean as well. And you also see in Africa, predominantly in Asia as well. So it's not widely spread, but it's predominantly in South America and the Caribbean and African and Asian countries. How to protect yourself and your family? Number 1, you need to see me. Number 2, you need to see me. Number 3, you need to see me. How else to protect yourself? Number 4, you can use mosquito nets. You can use long sleeve. You can use DEET, insect repellents, such as DEET, 30 to 50% DEET. And then most importantly, you need to take a medication. You need to take pills to protect yourself. For example, before I went to the Dominican Republic, I made sure I take my malaria. You take it 1 to 2 days before, you take it during the trip, and you take it 1 week after. So that's where I come in. So you need to see me, and how you see me is drcadedsolution.com, or you can do 407-373-5891. What information I will need from you? I will need the country of birth, housing status, habits, occupation, your emergency contact information, your doctor's name, any allergies to medication, vaccine, your food allergies, are you traveling alone, your departure date, your return date, and I will also need what's your trip purpose. Is it business? Is it missionary work? And so on and so forth. I will also need your accommodation. Are you going to stay in the hotel? Or are you going to be in a cruise ship? Are you going to be camping? Are you going to be in a private home? What about your trip activities? I would need to know. Any contact with animals? Are you plan on visiting schools, hospitals, orphanage? Do you plan on doing mountain climbing or hiking? Do you plan on doing any biking, public transportation, air travel? I need to know this information so I can do a proper evaluation of you to prescribe you something. Well, we are about done to take care of yourself. You need to see me at Cadet Solution for the Body and Soul. We are a virtual clinic online, and we provide the following services: acute non-emergent care, infectious disease, and travel medicine. And we can also help you with prescription refills. You need to book your appointment today at 407-373-5891, or you can do the www.drcadetsolution.com. This is it. If you really like this video, please remember to share it with your friends, family, and even your enemies. And click on the like button. Thank you very much. You have a blessed day. See you in the next video. We're gonna have a series on travel medicine this month. Thank you very much. God bless.